Hello everyone, good evening. Let us start our session today. Today is the day 3. Okay. First 5 sessions will be the free demo sessions. After that, only the paid students will get the link from the 6th day. Okay. Today is the 3rd day. So on Monday and Tuesday, till Tuesday, we'll have the free demo sessions. From Wednesday onwards, we'll be having only the paid students will get the link. Okay. So if anyone wants to interested into this course, do please pay the fee by Tuesday so that you can get the link from Wednesday. Okay. Let us start today's session. And anyone having any doubts, anything, do please let me know in the chat. I will be available in the chat. Okay. Everyone able to see my screen? If yes, please respond me in the chat. If my screen is visible, please let me know in the chat. Is my screen visible? Could anyone please let me know in the chat whether my screen is visible or not? So yesterday we had discussed about this Java programming format. In that 3 sections has been already discussed, like documentation section, package statement, and the import statement. Now today we are going to discuss about this interface section. Okay, interface section means what? Interface section is an optional section. It is an optional section, and we can create an interface in this section if required. If the interface is required, then we can create an interface in this section. And in order to create this, we have to use the keyword called interface. In order to create any interface in this any Java application, then we have to use the keyword called interface. Okay. An interface is slightly different from the class. Okay. It is slightly different from the class. Like it contains only constants and method declaration. Method implementation will not be included in this interface. Only the constants and method declaration will be there in the interface. And another difference is that it cannot be instantiated. Another difference is it cannot be instantiated. We can use interface in classes by using the implements keyword. If you want to use any interface in our classes, then how we can use that? Just by implementing the interface with the help of this implements keyword. With the help of implements keyword. And an interface can also be used with other interfaces by using the extends keyword. Means like if one interface wants to use the another interface, then how they can use that? With the help of this extends keyword. Okay. These are the two important keywords when we are using this interface with a class and interface with an interface. Okay. See, an example for interface is like we need to define any interface with the help of this keyword called interface. And this is an interface name. Okay. And open and close braces. This is the method declaration. There is no implementation for these methods. Okay. This is a small example for the interface. We are defining any interface after the import statement before the class declaration. Okay. Now, the next level will be the class definition. Class definition means what? The main thing in any Java program, the everything will be written under the class itself. So the first what we have to know what is meant by this class. Okay. It is a vital part of a Java program. I told you, right? The class is the main part in any Java program. So we are telling this is the vital part of Java program. Without the class, we cannot create any Java program. Without the class, we cannot create any Java program. And a Java program may contain more than one class definition. Java program can contain more than one class definition. A Java program may contain more than one class definition. And in order to define this class, we have to use the keyword called class. In order to define the Java class, we have to use the keyword called class. And the class is a blueprint of Java program. Blueprint means what? It gives some overview. Like while constructing the home, first what we will do, we will take the blueprint from the engineer so that we'll have some idea like how it looks, like at which corner what should be there, what's the measurement and everything. Okay, so the class is like a blueprint of Java program, and it contains information about user defined methods, variables and constants. It contains all these information. Okay, and every Java program should have at least one main method. You can take any Java program, at least it should have one main method, because the execution will start from the main method only. Okay, this is the class and then this is the name of the class. This is how we are going to define the class. Now, the class variables and constants. In this section, we define variables and constants that are used to be later in the program. Means what are the variables and constants that we are going to use in the program that will be defined at this level. Okay. In Java program, the variables and constants are defined just after the class definition. Means like once the class has been defined, then immediately we will define the variables and constants. Okay. Why we are using these variables and constants means to store the values of the parameters. To store the values of the parameters. Parameters means what we are passing through the arguments. Okay. And it is used during the execution of program. When we are going to use these variables while executing the program, and we can also decide and define the scope of variables by using the modifiers. Means like up to which level we can access this variable, what is the scope it should have, either it can access the entire program or entire package, everything we can able to define the scope with the help of the modifiers. Okay, see here the syntax of these variables and constants: data type and the variable name. Okay, see the data type and this is the variable name. So here string is the data type and the variable name is name. Int is the data type, ID is the name, double is the data type, percentage is the variable name. Static, find, this is some constant. If you define any variable with the help of static and final, then it will become the constant. Means the marks value cannot be changed now. It is fixed like 55. Okay. Now the main method. Main method means what? I told you, right? The execution will start from the main method. Execution will start from the main method, and it is the essential part of all Java programs. Okay, because the execution starts from the main method and it is an entry point of a class. It is an entry point of a class. It must be inside the class only. The main method should be inside the class. We cannot define the main method outside of the class. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. And inside the main method only, we can create the objects and call the methods. Means I already told you, right? With the help of objects only, we can use the methods of any class. So not to call the methods of the class, we have to create the objects. Those objects will be created in the main method. Okay. So this is the main method. Example, public static void main string aux. And the example program for this is one class, public class student. I told you, right? Access modifiers will be there. This is the one. Public means everyone can access this class. In the class, we will define this main method. In that, we will write the statements. Okay. This is how we are going to define the main method in any class. What are the methods and how they are going to behave? Okay. Now we'll discuss. It is like a step-by-step hierarchy. Okay. Now in this session, we will define the functionality of the program by using the methods. We'll define the functionality of in any Java program, the functionality of that program will be defined by using these methods. Okay. The methods are set of instructions. The methods are set of instructions that we want to perform. Okay. Means like, I can say like if you run any script, we'll have some set of lines. If you just run it, it will execute all those lines of code. The same way here, it will have some set of instructions that we want to perform. Like if I want to add some variables, then I need to write the lines of code that it will take the variables and it will add that and it will print that. So all those instructions will be written in the methods. Okay. These instructions execute at runtime and performed the specific task. These instructions will execute at the runtime and it will perform the specific task. Like for example, here, see, this is the one some example demo class. This is the main method. In that we are having the display method. Void display. This is the some method called display. Means what? It represents what's the action it is going to be performed. The name of the method represents what the action it is going to be performed. So it is displaying something. What it is going to display? System.out.println, welcome to Logic Labs. So it will display the statement called welcome to Logic Labs. So it is the set of instruction that we are going to perform will be added in this method. So these will execute at the runtime. Okay. And the next one will be the Java statements. Just a minute. I'll have some water. So now we are going to discuss about this Java statements. Statements means what? I already told you, right? The instructions, like what we'll write in the methods, that with the instructions is like a normal English word, but here statement means that what we are going to write and it's going to execute in the methods. Okay. Statements are roughly equivalent to sentences in natural languages. Okay. In general, statements are just like English sentences that make some valid sense. So if the statement is there, means that should give some valid sense. That means that it should give some valid meaning to that. So that then only we can say this is some statement or this is some English sentence. So here in Java, a statement is an executable instruction. Statement is an executable instructions, means it tells the compiler what to perform. It tells the compiler that what action need to be taken on that. Okay. It forms a complete command to be executed and can include one or more expressions. It forms a complete command what to be executed. Okay. And it can have not only one expression, it can have one or more expressions. What are those expressions? How many we can include? We'll discuss in the next slide. Okay. First of all, how many types of statements are there in Java? How many types of statements are there in Java? There are 3 types of statements are there in Java. Those are expression statements, declaration statement, and control statement. What are those? Expression statement, declaration statement, and control statements. Now we'll discuss in detail about this each statements. Okay. First, we'll discuss about this expression statements. Expression means what? Just a minute. Okay. Not this. Expression statement means what? It is an essential building block of any Java program. Means what? It is like a essential means you all know, right? It is a very main or basic building block for any Java program. In order to write any Java program, it is like must and should. It is like a basement, we can say. Okay. And generally, it is used to generate a new value. In order to generate any new value, we'll use this expression statement. Sometimes we can also assign a value to the variable. We can also assign a value to the variable with the help of these expression statements. In Java, expression is a combination of values, variables, operators, and method calls. Means I told you, right, we can have one or more expression statements. In that, what are all can be included in this expression statements means values we can include, variables, operators, and method calls. These are all can be included in this expression statements. And there are again 3 types of expressions in Java. What are those? One, which is producing some value. And the second one is, which is assigning some value. And the third one is, neither it produces some value, nor it assigns some value. Okay. It is like nothing. The first one is the expression which produces a value. Like if you are adding something or dividing, modulus, radius, everything. What it will do, it will just give some value like 6 plus 9, 15 will be produced. Means it produces some value. Okay. Now, number is equal to 90. See here, we are assigning some value to this number. This is one variable and we are assigning some value to this variable. So, we are assigning a value to this variable. This is also one type of expression statement. And here, see for the third one, count plus plus in sum is equal to a plus b. Okay. Here, the values of this variable a plus b, it won't change. But the value will be changed only for this sum. Okay. See here, a plus b means 5 plus 6. Here, the sum value will get 11. But 5 plus 5 is same for a. For B, C value is 6 common. It is not changing anything. Only the sum value is getting changed. Okay. These are the 3 types of expression statements. Now, declaration statements. Declaration statements means what? We declare the variables and constants by specifying their data type and name. Declaration statements means what? We declare the variables and constants by specifying their own specific data type and name. Okay. What is this variable first thing? A variable means what? It holds a value. A variable will hold some value that which we are going to use in our Java program. Okay. A variable is which we are holding some value and that we are going to use in the Java program. And here we'll see some examples. Like here, see, this is int quantity. Here, int is a data type quantity is a variable name. Boolean is a data type. Flag is a variable name. String is a data type. Message is a variable name. So these are all the types of variable declaration. See the declaration. Now we are going to initialize some value to these variables. See, we can initialize the value to the variables like this. Int quantity is equal to 20. As int supports only integer values, we have to assign the value also integer. Okay. Boolean flag is equal to false. As Boolean supports only true or false value, so we have to assign the value also here either true or false. Okay. And string message. This message will support only string type of values, means a group of characters. So we are assigning hello in the inverted commas. Definitely we have to use the double quotes to assign any string value to any string variable. Okay. This is the way how we are going to initialize a value to the variable. And in Java, there is one more feature which allows, like, we can declare multiple variables in a single line. Means in one single declaration, we can declare multiple variables. See, int, quantity, batch number, lot number. See, these three variables will store only integer values. Okay, because these three belongs to this integer data type. Boolean. These flag and is contains will store only the Boolean values. Now this string message and this string message is equal to here hello. Okay. And now we need to add one more variable like msg is equal to. So we can assign a multiple values by separating with the comma. Okay. These two will allow only the string values. Okay. This is the way how we are going to declare the variables, and we can initialize the variables, and multiple variables will also be declared one single declaration statement. These are what the declaration statements. Okay. And the third one is the control statements. Okay, we have discussed about the expression statement, declaration statement. Now the third one is the control statement. Control statements will decide the flow of a Java program. Means the name itself here represents control. It is controlling the program. Okay, means it will decide like which flow it should execute, whether it's right side or left side, whether it's this side or that side. The flow will be decided by this control statements. In Java, the statements are parsed from top to bottom. The statements will be parsed from top to bottom. Therefore, here using these control statements can interrupt a particular section of program based on certain condition. See, because these are following the top to bottom approach, right? Now, if it is executing the lines of code in the middle, if something got interrupted based on some condition, then it will hold the next line of code to be executed, right? So here, because of this approach, these control statements can interrupt this particular section of program based on certain conditions. Okay. Now, what are the control statements? How many types of control statements are there in Java? There are three types of control statements are there in Java. Those are conditional, loop or iterative or flow control statements. First one is the conditional or selection statement. Second one is the loop or iterative statement. And the third one is the flow control or jump statement. What are the conditional statements? Conditional statements are if statement, if else statement, if else if statement, and switch statement. What are the conditional statements? If statement, if else if, and switch. Loop or iterative statements. In that, we include the for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. For each loop is we can use in the advanced Java because only here collections concept will be used for this. Mostly we'll use this. In the collections, we'll use this one for it. Okay. And the flow control. Flow control means, or jump statements means, you want to skip particular lines of code. If you want to jump from one method to another, then we'll use this jump statements. What are those? Return, continue, and break statement. These are the flow control and jump statements. So these are the total control statements. Now, tomorrow's, I think on Monday's session, just a minute.